Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. Hunter McCullough, I'm Ryan Haff. Appreciate you joining us midway through the week here. So yesterday during the 4 p.m., exciting conversation that I got to have with Mr. Meadow Lemon, who is the CEO and general manager of the Minnesota Monsters.
Oh, yeah.
As they get ready to bring the arena football to Duluth, Minnesota here.
Yes, very, very, very exciting year. The whole rebrand. Is this the first year with the rebrand?
Yeah,
then?
first year with the new rebrand.
I'm very excited. I'm ashamed to say I have not been to a game yet with the old brand, but maybe with the new brand, I'm going to have to make it out there because it's way less games than like a normal football season, correct?
Right.
So you only have so many opportunities to get out there, but I've heard it's just so much fun to get out there.
It should be a blast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's exciting news, especially for our city. You know, bringing more arena football to town.
And I think we're pretty good, aren't we? Because we've won the past couple championships.
Yeah, I'm expecting us to be good.
Honestly, we're the best. We got to be the best here. So let's rock there, Monsters.
Yeah,
let's
make
go
Duluth
time.
proud.
Yeah, come on. We're gonna try to make you proud here today on today's show as we have another Does It Work product here, and we're gonna meet a 104-year-old Minnesota woman who played a key role in helping the Allies gain victory in World War II. All part of we had the National Women's Day just a couple days ago here as well, and so very, very cool to honor this woman.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's an important story, too. Excited for that one from John Lauritsen. Well, hey, how about this? This one's less of an important story, but a water park resort is turning heads with their very unusual milkshake, Hunter. So Great Wolf Lodge, which is in Bloomington and the Wisconsin Dells, now serving a limited-time ranch milkshake, mixing vanilla ice cream with ranch dressing. The drink also topped with whipped cream, carrots, celery, and even crispy chicken, definitely blurring the line between dessert and snack. So that shake is available at the resorts nationwide. Online reaction, though, has been mixed, with some people eager to try it, others saying they're likely going to pass.
It's mixed? Who's saying this is good or they're excited to try it? Those people need to be examined, but this hopefully is not the resort that you're going to be having your wedding at, right?
No.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I was going to say, I'd lift up and move to a different resort if that was the plan. But
you know, ranch is great. It definitely doesn't need to be seasoned in my milkshake, though.
No, that's disgusting.
I'm a Midwest guy. I love ranch, especially,
great.
Midwest, very Midwest thing to have ranch with your pizza.
Yes.
You know, I do that sometimes, not all the time, but I think, when it comes to desserts, maybe we can just leave it out.
It's a dip. It's me thinking about actually drinking it through a straw or something makes me a little bit queasy.
Also,
I don't like that.
Carrots and crispy chicken with whipped cream.
Also,
that's a combo in and of itself.
Maybe with the sweet and salty sort of thing, but I still don't find that good because I'll dip fries in my whipped cream and things like that. But I don't know. It just there's a whole lot of wrong right there.
A lot of wrong, but a lot of intrigue.
Yes,
I'm sure a lot of people will try it.
Maybe we'll get it up here someday.
Yeah, it might look and sound something like out of a Monty Python sketch here, but in the annual UK wife carrying race, the goal is to carry your partner up and down a hill as fast as you can. About 24 couples held on tight during the race outside of London, and the UK wife-carrying race is actually inspired by a 19th century Finnish legend. So this year, of course, a couple from Finland won, and their prize, they received a barrel of ale.
That looks like a lot of work right there. Look at that hill. Oh my gosh, they're not moving that fast.
It might be a lot of fun conversations after the fact, saying, how did it go?
Looks like a lot of bruises too, maybe.
My wife and I are competing in this contest coming up this weekend.
What kind of contest? Going on a run or something? Well, it's kind of like that,
I'll be carrying her.
Yeah, what the heck?
Well, quite the story. Well, a chance meeting at an airport restaurant in Chicago has turned into a viral love story. So a couple who met at the Chili's during separate layovers at O'Hare International are now engaged. They first struck up a conversation at that same bar in 2023, exchanged some info, and have been dating ever since. And recently, the future groom brought his girlfriend back to that very same Chili's in the airport under the pretense of a work trip, but that's where he surprised her with a proposal as dozens of travelers cheered them on. And also, I just read online that I believe Chili's is going to be paying for their honeymoon in the future.
No way!
Yeah, pretty
That's
awesome
so
stuff.
cool. I wonder if it's the first proposal that ever happened inside of a Chili's. That's really, really cool.
Especially an airport Chili's.
Yeah, any Chili's. You pick the airport Chili's, but that's where they met. That's a really cool story right there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe get them to do some of the catering also for the wedding. Not a bad
triple
idea.
dipper.
Yeah. Let's get to a text here on our Northern Life text line. Jesse from Aurora was wondering who drew that wonderful picture of Hunter that was part of his pizza party. party. Yeah, that was actually Briggs LeSavage. We did a little bit of a bit here. I believe it was Ryan that did this blindfold, right?
Yeah.
And you saw this on, was it Instagram or something like that?
You know, Instagram viral thing was to have couples do a painting of each other, and so I thought, you know, how funny would it be to test Briggs and Hunter's skills here to see what they can bring to the table. So Briggs's was a lot better than yours, Hunter.
I forgot how bad mine was. Look at her hands; they're so big.
I wish I could be impartial, but that, the drawings turned out the way they turned out.
Hers was way better. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. But cool, astute eye right there, right in the middle of the old thing. So thank you very much for that text right there.
Thanks for watching all the way from Aurora.
Yeah.
The state of Minnesota is turning a common frustration into a public contest. So the state's Driver and Vehicle Services Division needs your help to pick new hold music for their customer service phone line. So callers, you can dial that number there, 469-397-3737. They're going to let you listen to the 4 different options there. It sounds like there's a jazz option and 2 pop options and then a 4th option as well. And they say it's a fun way to engage the public, especially since wait times on that line can last 6 to 9 minutes, and voting is open through the end of this month.
I feel like sometimes it's longer than that too. Longer than 9 minutes. So I wish there was a 5th option that said reduce my hold time maybe a little bit.
I will tell you though, if you have good hold line music, I am more inclined to stay.
Sure, and I put it on speakerphone always, and I'm just going about my day and jamming out to it a little bit until they pick up, and then I need to scramble and figure out how to use my phone again.
That feeling when they pick up though, that stoppage of the music.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes your day.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, let's head to Idaho before the break here, where residents there could as soon have an alternative to jury duty. Lawmakers are advancing a bill that would allow some prospective jurors to work as poll workers instead, and county clerks could offer that option if they need help staffing elections. So anyone who chooses to work the polls would be excused from jury duty for the next 2 years.
Which would you rather do there, Ryan Happ?
You know, I think probably working the polling location would be better.
Too.
Yeah,
yep.
I think jury duty gets into the days, if not weeks sometimes.
Yes,
so,
that could be long.
This is a good idea.
Very cool.
Good idea in my opinion. Still ahead, 150 years of answering the bell. We'll be back on Northern Lights.
Welcome back, folks. It's been 150 years since the first successful telephone call was ever made. On March 10th, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell had just received his patent on his invention that he called the telephone. 3 days before, he was at home in Boston with his mechanic aide, Thomas Watson. The successful test led to demonstrations of the new invention. Then in May of that year, he demonstrated it before the American Academy of Arts and Sciences all the way in Boston. It's something that we use every single day, many, countless times every single day. So without that, we wouldn't have our cell phone, of course, and all that fun stuff. What is so funny right now?
You use it every day. You just use it every day.
Every single
I think
day.
The more incredible thing is that it was 1876.
That's wild. So I must have been immediately after that, or pretty soon anyway, it started going in everybody's homes. I feel like that's way too early in my mind.
Is it Alexander Graham Bell or was it Edison who stole an idea?
Edison.
It was Edison.
And
okay.
actually, what's funny, so I did a little research too. Do you know what Alexander Graham Bell wanted the greeting to be when you answered the phone? The very first thing?
I do not know.
Not hello, but he wanted ahoy. Because he was kind of a nautical human being. He liked the sea and everything like that. But Thomas Edison changed it to hello. It wasn't even his product. He changed what the saying was. So what, why would you do that? What a jerk.
Yeah, wow. Imagine if we'd all said ahoy now as you answer the phone.
I might start doing it.
Ahoy, this is Northern News Now.
I would love that. That'd be the coolest thing ever.
If you need to call our station, be sure to say ahoy.
Ahoy, ladies and gentlemen. I love that.
Don't tell our coworkers that we sent you.
No. They'll be very puzzled.
Yeah.
And they'll probably hang up on you, honestly.
Somebody from a boat called me earlier.
That's a ship in the middle of the ocean?
Well, that's fun fact.
That's crazy. Yeah. That is absolutely crazy. So Thomas Edison, got maybe a little shady person in history. That's your lesson of the day right there.
Yeah, be nice.
It'd be very nice. Listen, as part of Women's History Month here, a 104-year-old Minnesota veteran is sharing her story.
The Lincoln County resident served in World War II as a code breaker. John Lauritsen sharing how her role helped the Allies prevail.
They had a big party for my 100th birthday.
When Lois Widmark turned 104 in January, the party wasn't quite as big, but that's okay. Because these days she spends a lot of time at her Ivanhoe home, doing what she loves.
I read a lot. I embroidered 52 dish towels 2 years ago. Muggins and I have a lot of time together.
Muggins is her 5-year-old cat, and he's not the only animal in the house. Lois is also a big fan of elephants.
At one point, I counted 230 some.
230 some elephants.
Yeah, well, some of them were little.
Time at home is time for reflection. In 1944, when Lois was 22, she wanted to help with the war effort. So she and a friend decided to join the Navy.
Well, that's what people said. I let my patriotism get the best of me.
She became part of a women's branch called WAVES, which stood for Women Accepted for Voluntary Emergency Services. Lois and thousands of others were given the task of cracking German and Japanese codes for the U.S. military. They were known as the Code Girls.
There were a lot of girls doing that. We had to be at least 5 feet tall and weigh 95 pounds.
They worked with mechanical devices called bombs to crack the codes, much like the one invented by British mathematician Alan Turing. Lois and the WAVES were highly effective.
I only wished I would have joined sooner.
She moved back to Nebraska after the war and went to college on the GI Bill. She got a teaching degree and then moved to Ivanhoe, Minnesota, after marrying her husband, Arnold. He also served in World War II.
Both my parents are World War II veterans, and that didn't happen very often that both parents were World War II veterans.
In recent years, Lois wrote a memoir called Echoes of My Life.
This is my early life at Whitehall and what I did there.
It details her childhood, her time in the military, and how she and her family built a life in western Minnesota. Lois sells the memoir and a photo for $100, with all the money going towards a scholarship for future teachers at Southwest State University. After all, she's their oldest living alum.
The quilt of valor you have here.
Lois also does her best to keep up with other women who were part of World War II.
Not many of them even get to 100 before they're gone.
A sad reality, but also the reason why she believes it's her duty to tell their story and carry on their legacy.
World War II was everybody's war.
Wow, an incredible woman.
Very, very cool story in a time where, you know, women weren't really as accepted when it comes to the war efforts and everything like that. She had such an instrumental part in our eventual victory there.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
I had no idea about WAVES.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, an incredible life there, too.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service. Let's talk more about history. Mahjong, which dates back to the 1800s, seeing a surge in popularity these days, in part because its brain-boosting benefits, apparently. At a group meeting at the Brentwood Library here, players of all experience levels gather around the table. One woman has been playing for 65 years, while others just learning the game. So for some, it's about friendship and fun, but for others, it's also about keeping that mind sharp. Players say the game can be intimidating at first, but stick with it, and you might just get hooked.
Is this like a well-known game that people have heard of? 'Cause
I've heard of it before.
I've never heard of
Yeah.
this game in my life,
Yeah.
and I saw it at the beginning when I was looking at the script, and I'm like, what on earth is Ryan talking about here? I have no idea. So now I understand a little more.
Is it anything like cribbage?
Right? 15-2? How do I play this game? Makes no sense, but it looks complicated.
In the Half household growing up, they played 500.
Really?
You ever played 500?
No, I didn't. No.
I think it's like Rummy.
Oh.
I could totally be wrong.
It's not where you throw the football.
No, that's a different game.
Okay, all right.
Coming up, is AI becoming anxious? We'll see in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Sometimes I find great stories to tell,
Yes.
except, I need to do a little more research before we tell these stories. The primary goal of Mahjong is to be the first player to complete a legal hand of 14 tiles arranged into 4 sets, so combinations of 3, and then 1 pair, which are 2 identical tiles.
So it's almost kind of like dominoes in a way, kind of?
I would assume so, kind of like Go Fish.
Go fish? Kind of like
We'll have to
500
play.
in a
We'll have
way?
to play. So if anybody
Yes.
group out there plays Mahjong as a group, let us know. We'd love to learn.
That'll be your next blindfold
Yep.
shoot. I don't know
Yep.
who owns it. I've never heard of that in my life, so maybe somebody out there does, but we'll figure it out.
So sometimes on the show I get anxious when Hunter asks me a question that I don't know, but
Yeah.
researchers are asking a strange question. Could AI feel something like anxiety? So the makers of chatbot Claude say they've seen activity inside the system that resembles patterns linked to anxiety when humans talk about it. But experts stress that doesn't necessarily mean the AI is actually feeling anxious. It is more likely the system recognizing patterns from the huge amount of human text it was trained on. Still, the idea is sparking debate about whether future AI could one day have something closer to awareness or whether it's just really, really good at sounding human.
Can you imagine having just a bunch of robots that are all anxious roaming around the planet? Like, well, there's already enough humans that are anxious. We don't need any more robots out there with anxiety.
Yeah, I suppose robots, I guess, right now, might feel a little overstimulated, especially when it comes to cooling down.
Exactly.
Like my work laptop, I ask a lot out of it, in terms of like downloading video for our show here and, doing interviews and whatnot. So.
Do I have enough oil? Do I have enough gas?
Yeah.
Where's the lubrication?
Yeah.
The things are moving around.
Yeah,
all
our
that sort of
cars,
stuff.
yeah.
Our cars, all that stuff.
If I were a robot, I probably would be anxious.
The way I drive, I think my car's pretty anxious. So there we go.
Especially when it nears the Corn Palace in South Dakota.
It's broke down for 5 days.
No. I don't want any of that.
That was an expensive one.
Yeah.
That was rough. For this week's Does It Work product, we're looking at a patch that can help you apply your eyeshadow even faster, Ryan.
Here's Rachel Hackbarth.
You've heard of eyeshadow palettes, but what about eyeshadow patches? These are some makeup temporary tattoo stickers that we found on Amazon. You apply these with water. For only $5.99, we get 20 of these patches. Susan Swanger is a self-described country girl who likes light makeup. Could this be an easier way for her to get ready?
They're big.
If something like this worked and it was pretty fast to put on like it promises, do you think that could be helpful at all?
Yeah, because it would add color. It'd be good.
This particular brand doesn't come with instructions, but we're applying them like a temporary tattoo since that's how these are described.
I think this is like a press-on tattoo.
I think it is too.
Do you want to try it on your hand?
Sure.
I guess press it for a little bit.
That could be very interesting, putting it on your eye.
While we do have color and shimmer as the makers promised, Susan doesn't feel like it's the right texture or shape for a nice look.
I think it would be hard to get it on your eye even.
For sure.
And you would have to cut it.
Yes.
It does stick, but I don't know if it would work for eye makeup. It just looks plastic.
This is what the product looks like actually on our eyes.
Does it work?
I don't think so. So what do you think about these?
No.
Okay.
It does not work.
All right, well I guess we'll stick to the brushes and such.
For Does It Work, I'm Rachel Hackbarth.
That was horrible. That might be the single worst product we've ever shown on
We've
this
seen
segment.
a lot of bad products. That one would give some robots some anxiety.
Yes, I got anxious from that. That was wild.
That was a big patch.
And I think it's going to be permanent there too. So hopefully she rinses that off pretty well. That's wild.
Man, that's not a good one. Yeah,
No.
$6 though, so
there you go.
You get what you pay for.
Exactly.
Get what you pay for. Well, hey, stick around. We'll talk about a special report coming to Northern News Now after the break.
Welcome back, folks. Coming up tomorrow here on Northern Life, it's a story we've been waiting a long time to share with you all here. Northern News Now's Dan Wolf has been hearing from those behind the proposed data center coming to Hermantown, Minnesota. He's sharing his full feature story tomorrow night during our 10 o'clock broadcast, and we'll have your preview tomorrow on Northern Life. Yeah, this one's a big, huge talker for around the Northland, but especially here in Hermantown and Duluth.
Yeah, enormous topic, especially now knowing that Google is the one behind that project,
Yes.
and so Dan's been doing a lot of work talking to a whole lot of people, and so it'll be nice to hear from him before that special airs. So big thanks.
If there's one person that knows more about anything about this whole thing, it's Dan Wolf, man.
He's Northern News Now's Google.
Yes, seriously. Oh my gosh.
Search engine, But before we go today, a museum in England just received a coin that is more than 2,000 years old, but it wasn't discovered during a recent dig. 77-year-old Peter Edwards has actually had it since 1950s. He got it from his grandfather, who counted that money for his city's transportation department, and Edwards says someone had used it to pay for their bus fare at the time. So the coin dates back to the Phoenician city in Spain, and it's the 1st century BC. So incredibly old. No word yet on how much that coin is worth.
It's going to be worth a ton of money. I bet that bus goer is going to be very sad.
Very upset.
Yes, we love you guys.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.